Salut et bonjour. Here is your second activité. I hope that the dictée was easy enough for you, facile. I know sometimes the spelling can be a challenge. That's why I wanted you to hear it, look it up, and then write it and type it. It's a lot of practice. And so here we go, more practice. Like I said, you're not getting any new vocab, so this is really, we're going to make sure we know this stuff very well for when we do actually have an assessment, which will be coming up in 2 weeks. And then we're going to move on. Okay, so your next activité is called les dialogues entre amis, conversation between friends. So you're going to start a Google slideshow, right? You're not going to use mine. You can add to this one, but you're not going to use my characters. You can use any characters you want. Okay, you're going to create 4 little mini cartoon conversations. One friend is just asking another if they like something, right? And then the friend is going to respond in a complete sentence, okay? Now, for each of the 4 conversations, you're going to use a different question each time to make sure that you use a variety of vocabulary. This is the vocês les préférences. This is this asking and answering questions. And then the something that they like, that is your vocab as well. You're asking them, do they like to eat chocolate? Do they like to read a book? These are the things you're asking them. Do they like to swim? Do they like to dance? Do they like to do sports? Do they like to play volleyball? You're going to be using that target vocabulary. So don't be like, I want to ask if they love to do fencing or mountain climbing. We haven't learned that yet. Okay, we're using our cognates, more cognates to love, and vocês. That's what you're using. All right, down here in the corner, see it says helpful vocab. Oui, no. That's how you spell yes and no, oui and no. And then et, that word a, which is pronounced a, is and. All right, so let's look at an example. I gave 2, so you can see how I asked a different question. Okay, so 4 different questions. Here's 2. All right, so here, this is 2 conversations, right? I would have to just do 2 more because you have to do 4 total. So remember, the person speaking first is kind of on top. That's the way the speech bubble goes. So she says, est-ce que tu adores regarder les films? And then her friend says, oui, j'adore regarder les films. How easy is that? Again, I'm going to be checking to make sure you are spelling and capitalization because this is all practice. This is a spelling test. But I want you to be practicing spelling, right? That's going to be the difference between the 2, the 3, and the 4, is are you just looking at your notes and using it correctly? All right, and then here's my second conversation. They're completely different conversations. I got 2 new people, and I'll look at her question. She says, est-ce que tu détestes l'hiver? Do you hate winter? I mean, he doesn't look like he hates winter. She does. All right, so I've got new people. Notice that question is different from the first one. The first question, do you love watching movies? And the second one is, do you hate? Do you love, do you hate, do you like, do you really like, do you prefer? It's a lot of different questions you can ask. Est-ce que tu détestes l'hiver? And then look at his complete sentence. That means he says yes or no, and then he says, yes, I love watching movies. No, j'adore faire du ski. J'aime beaucoup l'hiver. J'adore le hockey. Right? Everything about winter he loves. So you're going to make 4 mini conversations. This is an example of 2 of them. You're going to use your own people, your own things, and you can always, kind of how I made this guy look like he's got a hockey jersey on, he's got a hat, he kind of looks like he likes winter. So if you want to have somebody holding a basketball or make maybe, Michael Jordan, one of your characters, do you love basketball? He said, oui, j'adore jouer au basket. And maybe he also says, j'adore jouer au golf, because Michael Jordan does like to play golf as well. All right, so now you know your little task. And again, this is just practicing with this over and over and over again. So I want you to get really good at it. This is really nice basic conversation. We will be adding some new vocab before we get ready to take an assessment, a quiz. So make sure you're doing this right. You know the difference between est-ce que and qu'est-ce que. And est-ce que tu adores? How would you answer that? Oui or non, j'aime, j'adore, je n'aime pas. It's all kinds. It's a lot. So I want to get a lot of practice with it. All right, you guys always do a really good job and you come up with creative little characters. I split one. They don't have to be big. If you want to do 4 different slides, 1 for each conversation, you can do that as well. And remember, it's 4 mini conversations, mini, like M-I-N-I, like little conversations. But again, we'll be at it because we don't know how to say me too or anything like that, but we will, I promise. All right, merci beaucoup. Like I said, you're using more cognates to love, cognates and voces. 6.3, les préférences. 6.2, les préférences. All right, merci beaucoup. Ciao.